Hi again! This is the day. So, you saw me pack my things, they're all in the car. Now, it's time to go to the photo shoot location. It is going to be an hour-and-a-half drive according to Google. So, call time is 9 in the morning, and being early has lots of advantages. So, we are leaving at exactly 7 or 7 in the morning, so we can arrive 30 minutes before the call time. So, it's going to be exciting. Let's go! Hi there! So we are now at the location. We arrived early, so I will use this time to scout the place and find a spot where I can set up our food studio or our food photography studio. So let's go! So when we arrived, the first thing I did was to introduce myself to the clients. This is actually the first time that they will meet me in person. So breaking some ice and getting to know the business a little bit are good ways to start. In case you haven't, it's actually the best time to ask more about their business, their products, the brand history, or the story of their business. This way, it will help you in your photo shoot and in styling your scene. In my case, it got me really inspired because these clients were really passionate about their products. So after catching up with the client and finding the best spot to set up the food studio, the next step is to set up the lighting. Since I did not deassemble my Godox SL60W, it was easier for me to just install it back. Unfortunately, we were not able to capture the part where I set up the lighting and T-stand, so I will be doing it here in my studio, just to show you the whole process. So first is to set the light stand to the appropriate height. Then reinstall the Godox light with the Octagon softbox. Then connect it to power and turn it on. Just to make sure I share everything, I set the lights to just 30% and it's already giving me a good exposure. Next is to set up the T-stand for the backdrop. So same thing, set it to the appropriate height, connect this rod to form a T, then lock it. I have these clamps to attach the backdrop. And there you go. We now have our light and backdrop. Next is to put the table where we will be placing the food products, then our background. Now, you may ask why I positioned the light this way. For food photos or in food photography, the goal is for the food to look inviting and appetizing. One way to achieve that is through lighting. When you position your food lateral to the light source, it will create nice shadows that will add depth and texture to the overall look of the food. Photos are 2D in nature, but using the lateral light setup can help make your food look 3-dimensional, which is super cool. I use lateral lighting in most of my photo shoots. Just remember that to achieve this, the light and the food should be lateral to each other. Imagine that the center of the clock is your food. Light should be at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You might say, well, Rose, that's nice and good, but this setup also produces dark shadows. This is why I bring my reflectors. They come in different forms, but the goal is to reflect the light back to the food or the subject. It can be a white folder or a white piece of paper. And in my case, I like using this multi-purpose reflector that I got online. As you can see, the difference between the one with the reflector and the one that doesn't. And I also use this 5-in-1 portable collapsible round 60cm reflector for bigger scenes. When doing commercial food photography, it is very important to consider lighting. You want your food to look clean, balanced, well exposed, and professional. This is why investing in lighting gear is worth it, and this is why I am taking my time to explain all of these things to you. And since we are already on the topic, you might be wondering what this big Octagon softbox is for. This is used to diffuse the light. Food looks better and appetizing on camera if the lighting is soft or diffused. This is an example of food with harsh light or light without a diffuser. Direct lighting can result in harsh light and shadows. When using natural light from the sun, diffused lighting is when the clouds are blocking the sunlight, creating a soft and balanced lighting effect. Finally, mixed lighting. You will notice that we closed the roll-ups to block the light coming from the sun outside to avoid mixed lighting. Mixed lighting is when you have multiple sources of light. It could be light from the sun, light from the restaurant or your house, and light from your artificial lighting. When doing food photo shoots, it is best to use just one light source, and to achieve this, you simply turn off all the other light sources, use a blackout curtain to block light from the sun from your window, and in our case, closing the doors and roll-ups as well as turning off the restaurant lights. So this is how our final setup looked like. And here are some of the photos as a result. So we will be taking pictures of drinks such as bubble tea, milk tea, and fraps. Then for the food, we will be taking pictures of their jumbo chicken steak, Taiwanese sausage, dumplings, bentos, soups, and other Taiwanese food. This is actually a lot for a one-day shoot, but I'm sure it will be fun too. Just to recap, to start shooting, I set up my food studio using an artificial light source with a softbox diffuser, a tea stand for my backdrop, a table with the background, and reflectors to reflect the light back to the subject. Next, lateral light is the best light direction or position when doing photography because it creates depth and adds texture. To achieve this, you position your food or subject lateral to the light source. Finally, mixed lighting is when different light sources are touching your subject and being captured by your camera, creating an off-white balance. We want to avoid this altogether. In the next lesson, we will set up and style the scene. See you there!